Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich here with your outlook for November 12th, 2015, and we're going to have a cold front move toward the area today. That's clearly outlined here on the map here. I'll draw that for you. Here's the cold front, and here's the area low pressure that's driving this cold front here. We're going to get just a small dose of this rainfall from this. Just a couple showers here this morning. Most of the best forcing and the highest rainfall rates will be up with the low pressure itself, which is going to stay off to the north here. So this is going to move to the east here. I'll show you the next couple frames here in the global models. And here's a look at Thursday morning. Now you can see a lot of gray here. This is all our coverage area here. Well, the eastern half of this is, but you can still see very broken up, very light shower activity. Not a big deal. Just one batch coming through. Generally 1/10 of an inch or less for most areas. Some areas do get upwards of 2/10 of an inch. I think that would be the upside potential for this. But this area low pressure being far to the northwest over the Great Lakes is going to keep all the concentration of the precipitation up in that direction. And then we go to the next frame here as we get to the afternoon, evening hours, maybe a stray leftover shower here, but most of the activity is already gone at that point. Let's go over to the NAM high-res future simulator radar. Start off at earlier here in the morning here. This is looking about 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, raining in central PA here at this point. Here is the main batch here. I'm circling it right here. This is your main batch of precipitation, and that's it. There's nothing behind it. Maybe something out in front of it here from northeastern PA if it comes in earlier in the morning, so you might start off a little bit early, get a quick piece that breaks off here and comes up into northeastern PA, but I think everywhere else stays dry at that point. I'm going to go to the next frame here. Going into mid-morning. Now we're looking at 9 a.m. You can see it's very quickly moving from west to east here. This is a 1 to 2 hour duration event, so not a long time it's going to rain, and not a lot of opportunity for not really heavy rain. So we're not talking about not a long duration event, and we're not talking about anything that is going to put down heavy amounts of rain. So upwards of 2/10 of an inch, in and out pretty quickly. Starts here. It starts to get over to extreme eastern PA here by 9 o'clock, but it's already starting to end out here in central PA at this point. Hasn't even moved to New Jersey yet, and it starts doing that by late morning, we think. And then that batch of precipitation moving east. Here's a look at 11. Here's noon, 1 o'clock time frame here, and then by the time we get to 1 o'clock, it's moving out of Pennsylvania at this point, and just about ending here in New Jersey here by 2. Again, a stray leftover shower here behind this, but I think that's all you're going to be dealing with. Here's that stray shower moving through. That will be later in the afternoon Thursday. Can't rule that out either, but then we start to dry out after this system moves away. So we're going to go to the next frame here. Next couple frames. Now, one of the things we're going to show you here is there's going to be the system itself is going to head off to the north here. Here's your system. The main system is going to head off to the north. There's going to be an upper level disturbance that's hanging back here at this point. It's going to come through, and the vortex is going to pass right over northeastern PA, or right along the border of PA and New York State. So we'll have an opportunity in the overnight hours on Friday night into early Saturday to see a few snow showers. Now, they would not expect them to amount to anything, but there is the opportunity for those snow showers nonetheless. You might see a few flakes, in other words, non-accumulating flakes. Here's that upper level low that's going to trail and move through. Going to the next frame here, you can see that just starting to sneak across the border from New York here. So certainly up to about Binghamton or so and back toward here, you're going to have some temperatures conducive to have snow fall, because the upper levels are very cold. So we'll definitely have snow falling, or flurries, but that's all we're expecting out of this at all until we get later Friday evening into the overnight hours, when this would occur if it does. Another thing you can see here, the isobars are pretty close to on top of each other here. So you see these isobars like this, or when they're this close like this, it means you're going to have some very breezy conditions. So we're expecting that for most of the day here on Friday with those breezy conditions and the upper level low moving through to our north. That could sneak a few snow showers down here to northeastern PA. But after that, we'll be chillier this weekend. I do think we go into a dry spell here with this high pressure moving in behind it. Here's our high pressure just going to anchor itself for the whole weekend and keep us high and dry, mostly sunny, and on the cool side. And then as this high pressure eventually starts to move off to the southeast here, and it's taking its time doing so, when it moves off to the east of us here, we're going to get a day or so a return flow with temperatures increasing a little bit into the lower 60s, nothing crazy. And then we have more rain we might be dealing with as we get to the middle of the week, but we're going to cross that bridge when we get there, because right now there's a lot of different uncertainty with how the midweek next week unfolds. But at the very least, another cold front's going to come through, and we're going to be back in this up and down pattern of temperatures going a little bit cool, maybe then slightly warm, and then goes back to slightly cool again. So we're going to be in that pattern here, it looks like, for at least the next 2 weeks, and we'll examine that a little bit further when we have the long-range outlook update done on Friday. I'm Eastern PA Weather Authority meteorologist Bobby Martrich, and that is your outlook for November 12th, 2015. Have a great Thursday.